It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We are fortunate enough to have on the line with us at this moment head baseball coach of the Grambling State Tigers. That is none other than Coach James Cooper. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good this morning. How you doing, Dr. Prince?
I'm doing real good, sir. Thank you for making yourself available. I know you're en route towards Alabama. What are the spirits like for your team as you make your trip for this 2021 edition of the Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball tournament?
Well, I guess the best way to tell you about our spirits is we had Coach Ellis come speak to the guys on the bus before we left campus. So his voice was the last voice that they heard before we pulled off. He's been in the game a whole lot longer than me. You know, he's called way more pitches than I have and seen, more double plays turned than I have. So I think he put the guys in a good spirit as we left campus just now.
Well, it's always good to hear from the old living legends to get the old juices boiling as you head toward the tournament. Now, we know that coming into the tournament, you didn't end your regular season as you would want to. Is that a concern as you get prepared for the tournament, or is that just water under the bridge and you pick up to the next chapter?
It's a little of both. It is a little concern, but you try to treat it as if it's water under the bridge that, it's not going to happen again. It was self-inflicted wounds. It was everything that we did not do that put us in a position to, not win the West and then also to not win that last series at home against Prairie View. So with all that being said, the guys are in good spirit. We had a really good week of preparation. We had an off day on yesterday, and also the guys had a chance to kind of relax and regroup. Ate some good food, had some good little games played, and had a grand old time on yesterday. And I think that's going to put us in good graces as we head over to the tournament.
Yes, sir. Now, they got you in the bracket, of course, with Jackson State, Texas Southern, and Alabama A&M. You're squaring up against Alabama A&M. And we know that the tournament is a different breed altogether than that of the regular season. All games are important. But when you enter into the tournament, do you look at possibly trying to tweak your rotation at this time, or do you leave it as it's been throughout the regular season?
Well, it's going to be some tweaking, mainly because we're going to try to put our guys in position to be successful. And what we mean by that is we're going to put the guy that we think is the best matchup that's going to give us the best chance to win that game with whoever our opponent may be. So you could say we're going to tweak the rotation, and we're going to put the best pitcher against Alabama A&M, and whoever the best pitcher we have left, he'll face the winner of Texas Southern or Jackson State.
Okay. Now, do you think about tinkering with your batting order or either position plays as well, or are you pretty comfortable with the way your lineup is headed into the tournament?
Likewise. Like I just said before, we're trying to put guys in position to be successful. We got a good idea what type of offense Alabama A&M has, so we're going to put the guys on defense or those position players out there at the spot that we think are going to be able to make the most plays for us. And, moving forward, we got a great feel for how Texas Southern likes to play, and we also have a great feel for how Jackson State likes to play as well. When you look at, how we did against Texas Southern and also Jackson State, we had 6 games against Texas Southern this year and 2 games against Jackson State. With all 8 games combined, we went 7-1, against those. We didn't get a chance to play Alabama A&M this year. But, when you look at the guys that we have as far as position player-wise, we think we're going to be the guys that you've been seeing out there every day. We do have a couple of options of where we could put some guys in the lineup where we think this guy may have a better chance to drive in runs, or he's just in a hotter position, or his bat is just a little warmer than, the next guy. But, the faces will be the same. It may be a different batting order, whenever we hit the field this week.
Okay. Now, Coach, we all know that pitching is going to be the key, especially for deep runs in the tournament and hopefully for you guys in a regional competition. And you typically have a set of pitchers that you use on a 3-game series in competition of conference play. Do you have any rams in the bush that might be surprise weapons that you're waiting to release throughout the course of this tournament?
We do. We think we have some rams in the bush, but, there really isn't a game plan for the ram in the bush. He just has to be that ram and, ram away at those hitters when he gets on the mound. We have a couple of options. I think Kamani Bailey, Corbin Peters, Kalen Woodard, Emir Garrett, like all those guys are going to have a chance to have their name called to go out and be that ram in the bush for us, and also to, compete at a high level and do better in the tournament, that they didn't do, this past season.
Yes, sir. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with the head baseball coach of the Grambling State Tigers, Mr. James Cooper. Now, Coach, there is always a guy who just breaks out of nowhere when it comes to tournament play. And if you were to look into your crystal ball, can you see a couple of players on your roster that are on the verge of having a breakout, like, look at me, SWAC Nation, here I am?
I'm hoping it's everybody that we put in the lineup. To be honest. I'm hoping we can have 9 guys break out all at the same time.
I know that's right, Coach. I know that's right.
But with all that being said, man, when you look at that, it could be 1 or 2 guys. It could be the guy that's a senior who has, been there and done that. He understands the environment. He understands the atmosphere. He's ready for it. He's been there and done that. Like, experience is the best teacher. So I'm hoping that a senior like, Rafi Ramirez, who can DH and play first base for us, or even Kalen Woodard, who's a graduate senior pitcher, or Jason Alvarez, who's a graduate senior pitcher as well. Hoping those guys could be some of the guys that, hey, man, I've been in this tournament before, and I'm going to go out, riding off into the sunset like a Peyton Manning when he won a Super Bowl, or John Elway when he wins a Super Bowl as well.
Well, Coach, we're thoroughly excited here at the Open Mic for the baseball tournament. They'll be kicking off on May 19th, opening up against the Alabama State Bulldogs, and they will advance to take on the winner of Jackson State, Texas Southern. Coach, I truly appreciate you giving us some time. I know you're en route toward Alabama, but we want to give you some closing thoughts and comments, sir, and the floor is now yours.
Hey, look, before we get to these closing comments, I got some questions for you. Like, who do you like in the tournament this year?
I like all teams. I'm a PV graduate. I would be lying if I say I would be lying if I say I wasn't secretly pulling for PV. But if you're asking me from the baseball analytical projection that I look at, I really, believe it or not, can't omit what Alabama State is bringing into the game. Coming in on an 11-game streak. I know that everyone has talked about what Jackson State has done with the 24 games, but I think Alabama State has a little bit more pitching depth, and they're coming together at the right time. And from you guys' bracket, I honestly believe that it's going to be between either you or Texas Southern to be representing from that bracket, and that's the God's honest truth.
Well, I really appreciate it, man. And you just, gave me a bit of information that I didn't know. So I'm going to be able to use that in my coaches meeting as we prepare for possible facing, Texas Southern or even Alabama State.
What information did I give you, man? You're in the game. You know way more than I do.
Oh, man. But here's the thing, though, as far as my closing remarks go. A lot of times in life, man, it's not always about how you start, it's about your finish. And that's one thing we have been, teaching to our student athletes. When they come here as freshmen, we talk to them about, finishing their college career in the right way. And that's, of course, winning championships in the classroom and on the field. We have had a ton of guys graduate in the past. We actually have a few graduates on the bus with us now, and they've had an opportunity to finish their academic side here at Grambling. And the missing piece is, finishing and winning a championship. I think that's a way to cap off a great college career, and it's also a story that you can tell everyone in your family and even your kids whenever you start having kids, man, that I was able to graduate with my college degree and then also win a championship and go to a regional and not represent my university but represent my conference. So, one of these 8 schools that en route to Huntsville will be able to say, we were that team, we were that group of guys, we were that group of seniors, and, we put all of our eggs in this basket to make sure that our seniors are going to be the guys that do that this tournament.
Well, sir, we are truly wishing you some luck, and more importantly, let's see some great baseball being played throughout the course of the tournament. And may the better team win and represent the conference with style, class, and distinction.
Absolutely.
He is James Cooper, head baseball coach of the Grambling State Tigers. I am the radio guy. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.